Death Stranding made an impact when it launched for PS4 last year, enthralling us with its unorthodox systems and strange story. PC players will get to experience it for themselves on July 14th, courtesy of publisher 505 Games. Before that, let's take a look at 10 things you should know about the story, gameplay mechanics, and various PC-exclusive features. Story and setting. Death Stranding takes place in the future, where an event called, the Death Stranding has brought ruin to Earth. Various beached things, or BTs, have emerged, while timefall, a special rain that will rapidly age living things and deteriorate objects, appears where the creatures are most active. This leads to the majority of the surviving population either retreating underground or staying in not cities. The United States is gone. It's now the United Cities of America. You play as Sam Porter Bridges, voiced by Norman Reedus, who, like many other cast members, lends his likeness to the character. Working with the organization Bridges, Sam delivers various packages and supplies to survivors and residents in the wasteland. That's more or less how the game starts off in a nutshell. We won't spoil Death Stranding's plot because A, that's a whole other video, and B, you'll really want to experience it for yourself. Suffice it to say, there's a lot going on, and that's not even getting to the BB or Bridge Baby. Core gameplay. As a courier, Sam's job seems pretty simple. He'll take on various requests to transport goods to different clients, deliver the goods quickly and with minimal damage to rack up likes, which can then be used to improve stats like weight capacity. Sounds simple on the surface, but there's a whole lot more going on. Different goods and materials have different weights, which can affect Sam's mobility. The overall position of these items on your person will also influence how often you'll become unbalanced and eventually stumble, which can result in packages dropping and getting damaged. Along with various goods, you'll also need to pack different items like shoes, weapons, grenades, ladders, ropes, and much more for the journey. There's an entire aspect that's focused on expanding the chiral network and building bridges, safe houses, shelters against timefall, zip lines, and even roads to better help traversal. You won't have to walk everywhere. There are different bikes and trucks that can be used to transport goods. Sam can also equip exoskeletons, which increases carrying capacity, increase sprinting speed, and jump distance, and provides easier navigation through rough terrain. Vehicles and exoskeletons require batteries, so it's important to know when to use them. BTs and combat. There are several major threats in the world. There are the mules, former porters obsessed with obtaining cargo, demons, who are mules out to kill, and the mysterious BTs. Human foes should generally be dispatched through non-lethal means, like melee combat or bola guns, since corpses can lead to void-outs, aka big explosions that leave craters behind. The BTs are a little weirder to fight. Sam has dooms, which allows for sensing but not seeing BTs. A scanner will physically point to the BTs to help in that sense. If Sam is detected, then special BTs called catchers will attempt to drag him away, leading to a boss fight against a massive BT. These bosses, and BTs in general, can be defeated with hematic grenades created from Sam's blood and an anti-BT handgun that fires blood bullets. There are plenty of conventional firearms as well, which will come into play for different situations. Should Sam die, he'll repatriate, which involves swimming through the seam to his body and reviving. Strand gameplay. Much of the marketing has hyped up the game's Strand gameplay, but what is it? Essentially, Death Stranding's multiplayer is asynchronous. You'll never physically encounter other players, but can interact with them in a variety of ways. These include recovering their lost cargo and completing deliveries for them, creating structures and supplies they can use, or contributing material to larger projects, and even leaving behind messages. Players can give likes for these, which helps your progression, but sometimes you might see others appearing during boss fights and providing assistance in the form of items. Graphics options. Death Stranding is already an incredibly good-looking game on the PS4, and the PC version is poised to look even better. While extensive graphics options have yet to be revealed, Kojima Productions and 505 Games have confirmed support for ultra-wide monitors and high frame rates, with 60 FPS only confirmed thus far. One can likely expect sharper textures, anti-aliasing options, a field of view slider, but we'll need to wait and see. PC requirements. Thankfully, the improved visuals aren't too demanding on one system. The minimum requirements on PC include an Intel Core i5-3470 or AMD Ryzen 3 1200 with a GeForce GTX 1050 3GB or AMD Radeon RX 560 4GB. To run it at 1080p and 30 frames per second, an Intel Core i5-4460 or AMD Ryzen 5 1400, along with a GeForce GTX 1050 Ti 4GB or Radeon RX 570 4GB will be needed. Finally, to run it at the coveted 60fps 1080p standard, an Intel Core i7-3770 or AMD Ryzen 5 1600 and GeForce GTX 1060 6GB or AMD Radeon RX 590 are recommended. In all of the specifications though, you'll need 8GB of RAM, Windows 10, and a whopping 80GB of hard drive space. Photo Mode. Though originally unveiled for the PC version, Photo Mode has been available for months for PS4 players. It's an incredibly in-depth tool, allowing players to shift the camera's position and height and adjust the angle of the shot, change Sam's expression and pose, or remove him entirely, add a frame and logo, and so on. You can also adjust the aperture, depth of field, focus, exposure, contrast, and filter type. Based on the samples provided by Kojima Productions, players can create movie posters, high-quality stills, wallpapers, and so much more. Digital Standard Edition Extras. The Digital Standard Edition has its fair share of goodies. Picking it up nets the base game, a gold and silver armor plate, a gold and silver power skeleton, the chiral gold and omni-reflector Luden's mask sunglasses, and a gold and silver all-terrain skeleton for in-game use. You'll also receive the digital Death Stranding Original Score Expanded Edition and digital selections from Titan Books' official Art of Death Stranding book. But wait, there is more. Pre-purchase this edition and you'll also receive some HD wallpapers along with the chiral gold and omni-reflector versions of Sam's sunglasses, a chiral gold and omni-reflector cap, a gold and silver speed skeleton, and a gold and silver armor plate level 2 and above. Aside from the wallpapers, OST, and digital art, all of this is unlocked through story progression, so you'll need to play the game to earn them. Half-Life crossover content. Death Stranding will be available on Steam and the Epic Games Store, but the former comes with exclusive Half-Life content. This includes gravity gloves from Half-Life Alyx and a headcrab hat, each having a special feature as per director Hideo Kojima. We've also seen a special paint job for trucks with the classic orange color scheme and lambda symbol, along with a virtual strider from Half-Life 2 that can manifest in areas hooked up to the chiral network. You can give Sam some Gordon Freeman-esque glasses and a red valve on the back of his head. But again, there's more. According to 505 Games, there are actual missions that cross over with the Half-Life universe. A familiar face is apparently impersonating employees from Bridges and mailing Sam to locate companion cubes in the open world. If the missions are completed, Sam will receive new items and also find out just who this friendly imposter really is. Dare we hope for the G-Man to make an appearance? DENUVO Anti-Tamper. Of course, it is worth mentioning that the PC version will have DENUVO Anti-Tamper DRM included at launch. The overall effect on performance remains to be seen, but considering the controversy that DENUVO usually attracts, its removal wouldn't be all that strange several months down the line. If it is a deal breaker, then it is worth holding off on the PC version, at least at launch. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.